Hi everyone and welcome to Sugar Spice Nice. If you're new here, then hello, my name is Shweta and I share my experiences about food and other things on this channel. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through what I eat in a day, but it's a day when I had a massive toothache. My wisdom tooth is erupting and it is so painful. So I thought of compiling some soft food items that will be helpful to you or if you know somebody who's going through something similar. So let's get started. I usually start my mornings with a fruit and almonds, but right now I'm not able to chew too much, so I'm going to whip up a healthy milkshake. For this, I'm using a banana, some almonds, milk, and some muesli so that my body gets some fiber. You can use any fruit you like, but I just had banana at hand, so I'm using that. It's easily available anywhere and is sweet, so you don't need to add any sugar or honey to your shake. After chopping it up, it goes in the blender along with all the other ingredients and just put in everything in one go and blend. I suggest you check in between if everything is smoothly blended, especially if you're having it when you have a tooth problem and there are no hard bits left. So I had some almonds and hard bits left, so I'm just running the blender once again until everything is totally pureed, and that's my first meal of the day, a healthy shake, and it is extremely filling too. The next meal is a nice warm breakfast and it is one of my favorites. It's upma and I love it even without a toothache. For this, you'll need some rava or semolina, chopped tomatoes, some mustard seeds or rye, some hing, curry leaves and chili, salt, water and ghee. You can even make it in oil, but I personally prefer to make it in ghee. Start by roasting the rava for a bit. At this stage, keep the flame very low and keep stirring so that it doesn't get burnt. And there's a peculiar cooked rava smell that comes once it's done, so you'll know when it's done. Keep that rava aside and start by heating some ghee. Once it's hot, it's time to add the mustard seeds and hing and just let them crackle. Then add some curry leaves and chili and keep stirring. Then add some tomatoes and also add some salt and let the tomatoes cook and soften a little bit. Then add the water and let it come to a boil. So this will ensure that the tomatoes are nicely cooked. At this point, I tend to remove the chili so that the upma isn't too spicy for me. After the boil, make sure you slow down the flame and start adding the rava bit by bit. You need to add a spoon and then stir immediately and then keep adding the rava in bit by bit, spoon by spoon. This ensures that you don't get any lumps in your upma and you get like this really nice, soft, smooth consistency. I also love to add lime, so I add that as well. And just mix it well and let it cook for just a couple of minutes. The mustard seeds in the upma don't bother me, but if you feel they'll hurt you, you can either skip adding them or add them in much lesser quantity. This is the ideal texture of the upma. It's amazingly soft, fluffy, and literally melt in your mouth. I also had some tea and Mari biscuits along with breakfast. I just cannot skip tea in any circumstance, and so I did this. But if you feel something too warm is going to bother you, then just skip tea. For lunch, I decided to make some khichdi, and for this I used some moong dal and brown rice in equal parts. I actually prefer moong dal because it is lighter and much easier to digest. So you need to soak these together for about half an hour, and in the meantime you can chop up whatever veggies you need to add in this khichdi. I used some chopped tomatoes, onions, some ginger and a chili. And along with this you'll need some jeera, hing and haldi and some ghee. I always prefer to make khichdi in ghee. I just feel it just comes out better. And you'll also need some salt. Also drain and wash nicely the dal and rice that we soaked. And let's begin to make the khichdi. So we start by heating the ghee in a pressure cooker. Once it's melted, you add the jeera in and just let them crackle. Then add the onion and saute it till it turns a bit pinkish translucent. Then add the tomatoes, chili and ginger and mix it really well. Now let the tomatoes soften a bit and then add the turmeric and hing and mix again. Then you add the dal and rice and add some salt and again mix it really well so that all of the stuff is nicely blended and coated with each other. And lastly, add the water. I'm adding a little more water because I want my khichdi to be softer. and then just leave it to pressure cook for about 5 to 6 whistles. Once that's done, just check the khichdi. This is the consistency that I can currently handle. It's soft and doesn't need much of a chew. And with this khichdi, I actually paired some plain dahi. It is honestly quite a good meal and a very soul satisfying combination even without a toothache. I usually feel really hungry at around 5 in the evening, so I decided to make myself this orange juice. Now for some, tooth pain may be accompanied with blisters, and at that time I don't recommend having orange juice, but for me it was just a pain and I just had a lot of difficulty in biting, so I could actually drink up this juice really easily. And I had some oranges at home, so I just made some juice for myself, and I usually don't strain it. I just have it with the pulp. That way I just find it like more healthy and more filling, and it was a great way to satisfy my evening hunger pangs. For dinner, I really wanted to get some more veggies in, so I decided to make a soup, and for that I took some lauki or bottle gourd, some carrots, tomatoes, onion and garlic. It's just a very simple soup recipe. There's nothing fancy in it. I just took all of these ingredients and pressure cooked them, and this is the kind of consistency I maintain. I don't like when a soup is too thick, so I just kept it at this. And if you would like to see a full detailed recipe of the soup, then leave that in the comments. And I had the soup and a little bit of the leftover khichdi for dinner. So that was it for what I ate the day I had a massive toothache. Don't forget to share this video with your friends or family who are going through something similar. If you've gone through it, then you know how deep a toothache can be. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. It will really mean a lot to me. And I'll see you in my next video, hopefully without a toothache. Bye!